Alright, kiddos, good afternoon. It is me, Mr. B, and today is May 17th, and this is the how-to lecture for our final formal work from a graded perspective. This is week 10, trimester 3, and this week we are wrapping things up with a performance piece related to something you might be able to use contextually for graduation, perhaps. We'll see. This is ultimately what it sounds like. It is derived from The Police, the song from the album Zenyatta Mondada, When the World is Running Down. That song normally is performed at a tempo of upward of 128 beats per minute. We're going to be performing it this week at 63 beats per minute, but here's what it sounds like as finished work for you this week. And that repeats as a loop, and you've got 8 measures. And ultimately, though, when we get going here, we'll get into a clean slate. Start from a tabula rasa, and let's go to create song. Let's see, done here. Go to create song, and we're going to start as we normally do from our piano. And going down this line between categories, keyboards, classic, grand, and done. Now our orientation this week is really important. Let's first of all get our tempo, our little rubric here that I did on the back of my artwork, so okay, it'll work. Tempo, 63 beats per minute, so the first one we're going to attend to. So 63 beats per minute. How's that? We're going to have our standard 8 measures, so we're going to be good there. Initially, we're going to record some piano, we're going to record a little bit of hi-hat, and then we're going to record bass. We've got 3 total tracks this week. Now we've got to be really careful about where we are in terms of our overall layout this week in terms of the piano work. The first pattern that we're playing, we're starting here at this G, and what we've got to consider is this reference is this E that we're looking for. On the iPad it's E0. E sub 0. And here's why again. In scientific pitch notation, C4 is our middle C. Well, we did some mathiness earlier, remember, to find out that E1 is in fact what is the lowest bass note that we play. Well, in the iPad schema, that has to be considered the E0. So we're looking for E0 in an iPad environment. So that's why E0 is what's noted there. So E0 is what we're looking for. First pattern we're going to play, though, is this GBC with this B flatted thing going on there again because of our shaping. So we want to make sure that we scroll over, and this is that lowest E. That would be a C. We don't need it though, so we can go ahead and keep ourselves scrolled over so that this E is what we're going to come back to. That's the lowest note we're going to hit. But the roots of what we're working on are G, A, and B. So the 3 patterns that we end up doing, derived again from our artwork, are this GBC, GBC, ACD, and then BDE. So the GBC with a G, B flat C, that's the first pattern, and then it's GBC. So we're staying with the G, and then we're going to the A, and the A is both patterns are the same, A, C, D, and then the B, it's the 3 note pattern is the same, but and then it does, and then playing the E. So the pattern is that one switches up a little bit. Keep this bright. the first time it's this one, and the second time it's this one. This is always the 1 and the 3 in that first pass. So we've got our tempo right. We're going to go ahead and try and perform this. Here we go. You want to make sure you get that last note, because you're really rushing it in the beginning. When you're starting, you're actually starting a little bit ahead of the beat off the 4. You're really only getting in that. And you got to make sure that that last note happens, because it actually is scored just ahead of it. We'll see how that turns out. Looks like it's right. That will work. That will work just fine. Now we need to replace our metronome. Let's get that job out of the way, and that'll be easy here with just our drum kit. We're playing, just the closed hi-hat here would be kind of opening and closing it, but this is already just closed the way it is. And eventually we're going to replace the metronome, but let's go ahead and just record it with the metronome playing on the beat the whole time. And the metronome is 1 beat, and then the piano is going to have some natural dynamics to it, so you're going to kind of want to play the difference between the two, kind of give it some feel in that way. Okay, metronome off, we're good there. Looks like we got a good take. Yep, yep, yep. Now we need to add our bass. And our bass is, here's a little kind of graph to help us see where we're going with it. But these open strings are played above the nut, and they are E, A, D, and G. And this would be the little white bar there that's right here. That's called the nut of the guitar. This is the E, A, D, and G. And so the notes that we need to play are in these little groupings of 3, like this. And that's part of the cool thing about the pattern, is here's our G, B flat, C. Here's our G, B, C. And then here's our A, C, D, A, C, D. And then here's our B, D, E. B, D, E, and then here's the low E that we play. So that's the pattern that it is, and now I'll show you how that's ultimately played. So we're starting here on the G. This is the G. This is the G. Feel the unison there. So the first pattern is, and then it's here. This one's the same twice, and this one's the same. But then you play the open, and then back to the G, and then the shorted, and then the full length, this is our G, and I played that wrong. That would be okay. So now I'm going to go for a take. And if I make a mistake, I make a mistake, but I don't think I'm going to do it just fine. I think. Here we go. 2. make sure you get that G in right away. At that end, make sure you get that last G in. Here we go. Oh, that's not what we want. We want to hear it done, because I think we're done. There we go. A little bit of a goof there, but I'm going to keep it. I think we're fine with it. And that one was mine because I had to reset my my hover cam at the same time. But I would take that. And that is the extent of the performance this week. Again, just on the keyboard side so that you see it. In terms of your GBC, this is your GBC again from E0. Alright. Then here, again from E0, this is A, C, and D. And then from E0, the B, D, and the E. The 1, 2, 3 there as well. Alright, all y'all. Thank you very much.